We welcome you live to the iCar Pro Series Season number 3 race from Kern County Raceway tonight in Bakersfield, California. It is race number 5 of the iCar Pro Series season, and we are here tonight. And it is Kern coming off a wild race in Eldora for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Truck Series yesterday, of course. That, of course, was a little bit of a controversial finish. Of course, it originally was won by TJ Moon after he absolutely took out Matthew White, coming to the checkered flag. Then Cash Culp was awarded the victory once Moon was disqualified. All three of them are going to be in this race. Moon's penalty is still officially pending. So this could be interesting tonight as Carr is going to pull into the racetrack for qualifying. Here we go in Kern. It's race number 5 of the iCar Pro Series season. Of course, I'm your host, as always, in the booth, Ethan Trendler, joined now tonight by Grand National Series driver Richard Cherry. Of course, drives the 8 in the Grand National Series, and cars on the racetrack here in Kern for qualifying.
Yeah, Bakersfield, California. What a historic town, really, for racing drivers. We have Kevin Harvick. He has also Rick Mir as four-time Indy 500 champion. And this great racetrack named after Kevin Harvick, which, by the way, we see his SHR, I believe, 2014 paint scheme on the track, driven by Brandon Pfeiffer as the 20 spins out.
All right, here we go. Of course, only one lap qualifying in iCar and at all tracks. Here comes Zane Rahman down the front straightaway. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes between TJ Moon, who just went top of the board. Matthew White is second. That's a great start with those two.
Yeah, I mean, TJ Moon has a rivalry with Matthew White, and the whole field, basically, he was getting really hated yesterday after that wild finish there at Eldora. So let's see how he's going to get raced today.
And here comes your official winner, I guess you can say, from last night, Cash Culp in the 57 car. Of course, he's from California, so making a hometown start tonight. And was on the dirt last night, obviously, where he's so good. Here is the one of Zane Rahman, making his way through 3 and 4. And down the front straightaway. So far, TJ Moon on provisional pole. Chandler now goes top of the board, the all-time wins leader in iCar. He's on provisional pole now. Here comes Cash Culp across the line. Cole Wilson is 5th. CJ Erdman is 6th. Culp is 7th.
Yep.
Here, Max DeFilippi. Here's the 22. Yeah, Bryce Benton has not put down a time. Of course, Bryce Benton suspended for this week's NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race at Fontana. He'll be in the Grand National race tomorrow, though. And, of course, tonight in iCar. Here's Zane Rahman still on the racetrack. He qualified in 10th. Here comes Benton. Could be a favorite for pole. Was fastest in practice. We'll see what he can do here in qualifying. He gets through 1 and 2, and now down the back straightaway. Of course, Kern County Speedway will be hosting the Grand National Series race later this season, but it started us off with iCar earlier in the year. The short track, owned and partnered with Kevin Harvick. And across the line goes the 9 of Bryce Benton. What is it going to be for Bryce? He's top of the board, just like he was in practice. Bryce Benton on provisional pole in Kern. Here's the 57 of Wyatt Miller.
Yeah, Bryce Benton, always a fast driver in qualifying. Let's see what Cash Culp can do in the 57 car.
It's actually Cash Culp's driver, 37 of Wyatt Miller.
Oh, yeah, my fault.
He blinks across the line. Not really sure what that was. Rahman is still on the racetrack.
Something. Yep.
Here's Jeremiah Gauntly in the 29 car. He was also awarded a massive suspension. I can pull it up real quick. But it was for both Cup and Grand National. In the Cup Series, he got a 5-race Cup ban and a season suspensions. That is absolutely massive. In the Grand National Series, he got a 2-race suspension. So this is his final event of the week. Cannot even show up to Fontana. DeFilippi is 5th. Gauntly just went up to 7th.
Right there, my Gauntly, he might as well save the 2-hour-and-a-half drive from Kern County Raceway to California Raceway. I mean, save the travel, so it's pretty good. I mean,
I believe it might be spotting though for somebody. So.
Yep. Well,
30 seconds to go. Nobody else on the racetrack. That means Bryce Benton's going to be on pole as we start this 3-day journey in California. Of course, starting off tonight in Bakersfield, California at Kern. Then the next 2 days, Grand National and Cup in Fontana. Fontana definitely always a favorite week around the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. Of course, Eldora just randomly yesterday. That was, I don't even know what to say about that race. My goodness. I mean, with all the drama and chaos we've had in this week so far, I feel like we're done. But no, we haven't even gotten to Grand National or Cup yet, which is crazy. And that'll do it. Bryce Benton on pole. And Matthew White and TJ Moon starting 3rd and 4th on row number 2 together. It's funny how these things work.
Yeah, Max. No, Max. Shane Roman was just driving around trying to find I don't know, an Easter egg or something like that, because he was just going reverse all the time. Now these drivers have a warm-up session, which is going to help. There was a races that Cole Wilson just does speeding coming into the pits.
He didn't do that, obviously. Here comes Matthew White. Here's Payson Lindsay. So have to wait a little bit before the initial start of this race, obviously, with the normal 5-minute warm-up session. Here is Cole Wilson to the door of Cameron Chandler. Contact. Teammates. Partners as well. As Cameron's just going to move him up a little bit. Here comes Cash Colt behind them. The one is in on the 81. Here is the blank car of whoever this is. Not exactly 100% sure. Let me reload trading paints real quick. Yeah. And everybody's a blank car, obviously, which has reload trading paints. Oh. There's the 81. That is, I believe, Maddox Spear. Or Matthew White top of the board in this warm-up session. We got a car spinning. Around goes Cameron Chandler with another blank machine. Here's the one of Zane Herman. 3 wide down the front straightaway. They head back to 1 and 2. Still 3 wide. Now, Colt falls a little bit further. Oh, contact here at the 22.
And the bumper falls off.
And the 4 of Piper once again into the fence. Interesting situation here. Max DiFilippi is now running forward, I believe, in at least the Grand National Series, and of course tonight in iCar. Not really sure about the Cup Series just yet. So he's switching the Ford, which is interesting. Here you can see the Ford number 12 car, Ford Mustang. You'll also see a Ford Mustang tomorrow for him, where he's full-time in Grand National. Benson was top of the board, obviously, in qualifying on pole. Only 9th here so far in this warm-up. Pole sitter racing with Cole Wilson. Got a couple of new faces making their debuts tonight in the iCar Pro Series. Those include Cash Colt, one car. I don't know if Maddox Beard's ever made a start in iCar. TJ Moon as well, making his first ever start. Wyatt Miller. So got a couple of new faces tonight. It's definitely good to see. Still have a blank car on the racetrack. This is Gary Smith. I'm not really sure why his paint scheme isn't showing up, but all right. All right, Richard Cherry. Obviously, you know what happened last night in Eldora between TJ Moon, Matthew White, and then a little bit of Cash Colt. Do we think we see part 2 of that tonight?
You never know. These drivers might be able to save their stuff until the end of the race, where I think something's going to happen for sure, because especially with Matthew White, he's not really happy after, under his opinion, being taking the win away from that wreck with TJ Moon. So we'll just have to go and see, I guess, this race. I mean, Christopher Nolan. I'm gonna say like the way it is. Fuck it. It is fucking bullshit compared to Ethan Trotter in this race.
All right, Richard Cherry, trying to get my money taken away from me. All those bad words. as cars head down the front straightaway. So this race 120 laps, of course. Oh, contact, and around goes Benton off the front end of Cole Wilson. Here's the 8 of Cameron Chandler. There's 1 of Zane Rahman. The 18 there of Matthew White. The 4 of Brandon Pfeiffer. There is Cole Wilson spinning himself. All right, that's normal. The 94 of CJ Erdman. You got on the apron 37 of Wyatt Miller. There's Cash Culp. There's 73. Wyatt, I think. There's the 12 of Max Felipe. And again, Cameron Chandler. We're just about to do it here in this warm-up session in Kern. We are just about ready for this one tonight. Should be interesting from Kern County Speedway. All right, here we go. Off a wild one in Eldora. A lot of beef, a lot of things brewing. It's all time to go down here tonight at Kern. And here we go from Kern County Speedway tonight. This is the iCar Pro Series, race number 5 of season number 3. We'll go through our starting top 10. So, of course, on pole, Bryce Benton, to his outside, Cameron Chandler. What do you know? It's going to be TJ Moon and Matthew White lining up in row number 2.
Yeah.
Row number 3 will be Max DeFilippi, Payson Lindsay, Jeremiah Gauntlet, Cole Wilson, CJ Erdman, and Cash Culp. Round out your top 10. You get the rest of the field on the left side of your screen.
Yep. Brody Webster.
All right. Okay, here we go from Kern County Speedway tonight. It is the iCar Pro Series. As, of course, the Grand National and the Cup Series both get ready for Fontana. This race actually 25 laps. Cameron Chandler got the race distance wrong on the schedule, set 120 laps. So as cars roll off the grid here in Kern. We're going to see if things start to heat up instantly between Matthew White and TJ Moon there on row number 2. I mean, this is like the last time these two were together on the racetrack, they wrecked each other. Well, I mean, they didn't wreck each other. Matthew White got destroyed by TJ Moon and Eldora. They came here, obviously, on a separate flight to Kern tonight. And they're going to be battling it out back there. So it should be pretty interesting how it goes all day long.
Yeah. We have 2 9 cars on the inside row, so it's very curious. I mean, you don't know who to call the 9 car. I mean, it's always been Bryce Benton. The OG 9 car is Bryce Benton, but TJ Moon obviously has to come up and just steal the number. I mean, that's just indespicable. But yeah, how about Zane Rahman though? He's starting in P12 there, and if these people just kill each other, he might be able to get a great result. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Here we go. Pace car is in. It is race 5, the iCar Pro Series season. Drama's been brewing off and on the racetrack, and it all comes down here to tonight in Kern. We are racing from Kern County Speedway in iCar, and they're almost wrecking behind them, but we get off green, and we're side by side down into 1 and 2 between Cameron Chandler and Bryce Benton. Door to door, back through 3 and 4. Chandler on the outside lane. Benton down low, trying to squeeze him up the racetrack. Side by side contact almost. As they head down the front straightaway, Chandler leads lap 1, and he clears Bryce Benton for the race lead. And here comes Matthew White around the outside of the 9. Benton already falling back.
Making that outside lane work as TJ Moon has pace on Lindsay of his bumper.
Oh.
I'll be really scared, to be honest.
Yeah, Payson Lindsay isn't exactly the biggest friend of TJ Moon either, so he got a little bit of a shot to the back bumper as they head side by side between White and Benton, back through 1 and 2 and down the back stretch again. And now Matthew White clearing Bryce Benton, your pole sitter, backing up P3, and he's got TJ Moon up in his outside lane.
And how about Cascal though, about Greg Payson there?
Yeah, getting interesting for the battle for 5th. Side by side, back through 1 and 2 between Moon and Benton.
Yep, the 9 car just side by side there, as we see this great shot of the cars going to speed down to turn 3.
Benton gets cleared by Moon, and he is back to 4th place, already going lap 5. Not a great start for the 9 of Bryce Benson. He's got Payson Lindsay to his inside already as well. My goodness. Bolt back there running in 60. Felipe runs 7th. Got a crash down the back stretch. Around goes Maddox Beard. The 73 and Miller also spins, and the caution's out for the first time in lap 5.
Oh man, we have wreck already. Maddox Beard just gets pounded by Miller.
Oh. All right. Good to know. Let's see what happens. So Wyatt Miller back here in his first ever start. Up at the racetrack he goes. Beard, yes, who's inside. He just loses it on the straightaway. All right. Not the greatest way to start off your first start.
Yeah, that's the greatest collision I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just gets loose and just wrecks him.
Yeah, we're right along with Wyatt Miller. He was really loose down in the 3 and 4 anyways. He was up the racetrack, and then he just almost lost it again, and then hooks the 81. Into the wall they go. System to caution for the first time tonight, now on lap 7 of this race. They had a surprisingly clean start up front with all the, things that were going on up there between drivers. So TJ Moon, just not really sure what happened to him. Not really sure.
Yeah. We might as well just go check, because I mean, we cannot let the viewers with the holy. Oh no, man! It's a lap down.
I don't know what happened to TJ Moon. It doesn't say anything happened to him on the iRacing thing, so I'm not exactly sure. That could be a big story in this race. All the controversy that's been brewing, obviously. I mean, I can imagine the cheers, just to be honest. Sorry, TJ Moon, but I can imagine the cheers in the driver chat right now that they just saw that. So, I'm not really sure, though. We'll have to see how that goes. He's currently being scored a lap down.
Yeah. This, the tragedy of Shakespeare.
Choose. Rich Terry, what are we eating?
Just a straw. I mean, we're biting it, so.
Well, wow, all right. Yeah, TJ Moon still being scored a lap down. Oh, yeah, he's lost connection. Pack loss. Yeah, that's connection. Wow, connection issue for TJ Moon. That's interesting here. Racing gods do some interesting things sometimes.
You never like to see a driver this early going multiple laps down, so he will have to get a few cautions just to get back on the game, on the race.
We'll see if he can get into the race even as well as we come back to the green flag. Bit of a check up there. Started really early as we go back to green side by side between Cameron Chandler. Matthew going 3 wide. Oh my God, he's going to spin. Benson up the racetrack. He goes with Payson Lindsay and they wreck with the 94 of Ehrman also involved, and the caution's out again.
Damn, I mean, you all saw what happened, so I don't think we need a replay of that.
Well, nice try. So, I mean, Gonley, that was interesting by him, going 3 wide on the bottom, sends Cash Culp into the 9 of Benton, who saves it. What a save by Benton, and then getting turned there. It's the 99 of Payson Lindsay. Goes around right along with 94 of CJ Urban, who does have some front-end damage now. With Erdman. Oh, right into the lap of Payson Lindsay. Not what he wanted to see there. And nowhere to go. Well, cautioned out now, lap 11 for the second time. And cars are pitting. Of course, Erdman back there, Payson Lindsay, the 81. And Bryce Benson also comes to pit for your pole sitter. Not a good start to this race so far for Bryce. And Moon being scored 5 laps down.
Not at all. Going from the pole to about being taken out and having damage to your car on lap 12 is something that I wouldn't even wish to Brody Webster.
Wow. Unbelievable. As Bryce Benton now rolls off of pit road. Gary Smith is DNF'd. He was that driver that was their paint scheme. Of course, his paint scheme was not working whatsoever. So, and of course, TJ Moon, big story in this one. he is currently out. And it's got to be unfortunate. It's got to be a pretty bad feeling for the driver, DJ Moon. All right, here we go. Coming to the shoes again. First went straight under caution after the restart. Chandler goes outside. You see Cash Culp up into row number 2. But I'm not really sure what Brody Webster's doing. All right. Guess he was told to pass those cars as the pace car is driving away from the field for some reason. Here we go, ready for the restart again. Brody Webster, where are we going? There we go. Finally found his place in line. All right. Going to restart on lap 15 under the second caution of the day here in Kern. It is White and Chandler, 2 best drivers in iCar history for the most part. Back to green. Chandler once again gets a pretty decent restart up in that outside lane, but Matthew White wants to try to fight it back down to the low side. Side by side almost for a second, but Chandler looking to eke out in front, but White is, yes, he is clear into second. Side by side with Max Filippi in the bottom. Look at Brody Webster all the way down low, and he's going to turn. Cole Wilson. Around goes the 2. And he gets contact from behind. The caution's out again, and Bryce Benton nearly gets turned by the 73 of Wyatt Miller. Brody Webster, not really sure what that was all about.
What happened to Bryce Benton? I would wish it to Brody Webster right now. That is, I mean,
I'm not really sure what he's doing. Just yeah. Wow.
I mean, he needs to get a job, that's for sure.
We saw the contact with Benton and Miller. Almost. Benton has some back-end damage because of that. As I don't think Cole Wilson's going to be too pleased. Right along with him. We're going to single file restarts, by the way. Chandler's made the executive decision. Cole Wilson, yeah, just gets turned. A little bit of contact into the wall. He goes, has damage on that 2 car. Hasn't been a very good one so far for Cole Wilson. And Bryce Benton, another accident he's involved in. Caution out again, lap 17. All right. So Cameron Chandler, of course, currently leads. Second is Matthew White. Third is Cash Cole. All right. So, been a pretty chaotic race so far tonight. 3 cautions already in this one. Just getting started. Shoes outside goes Cameron Chandler. Inside Matthew White again. They continue to shoes behind them. Benton, your pole sitter, already involved in 2 crashes all the way back to 11. It's not been a good start for him. Already lost spots in the initial start of the race anyways, so he is not having a good race so far. All right, we're going to restart on lap 20. It was originally supposed to be single file restarts. It said that. I don't know what happened here. I guess we're going double file again. For lap 20 in Kern. We are back to the green. What a restart from the outside from Cameron Chandler. Gone there on Matthew White. Max Filippi now behind them as they head back into 1 and 2. Into the wall goes Filippi, and now White clear into 3rd. In the 2nd, I should say. Here comes Cash Culp from P3 on Max Stiffy. Side by side, heading down the back. And Filippi clears them for down their car on the wall back there. Sherman Guntley with Payson Lindsay. Going to start to calm down back here. It's early in the race, only lap 21, but they're going to almost 10 to 3 wide. Bryce Benton still stuck back here, running in about 11th place. Oh, contact Cole Wilson in the 20 of Greg Holes. Wilson finds a place around him now. He's to the inside of Bryce Benton. Holes back to the bumper. He is not very pleased with that 2 car, and we got a bit of a mess going on up here as well. Oh, into the wall goes Brody Webster, And there's Cole Wilson. It's kind of just a dogfight back here. And side by side, Cash Culp and Payson Lindsay. Now for the race lead. Here comes Matthew White on Cameron Chandler. Side by side, back into 1 and 2. Oh, White slides and has to fall back in line. Oh, we had a car completely loose. That was, I believe, the 4 of Pfeiffer, who's up the racetrack and losing spots now big time. Side by side now, Benson and Cole Wilson. Oh my goodness, Cole Wilson was sideways once again. And Cole Wilson is going to rough up Brody Webster. Remember, Brody spun him a few laps ago. Got back to him now, and they're side by side once again down to the 1 and 2. And I think Brody might just drive off now. Wait till later to get even more payback. Here's Gauntlet at the bottom. Here comes Payson Lindsay now and Cash Culp. Battle for 4th. Lindsay in the 99. Culp's going to maybe lose 2 spots. Gauntlet comes inside as well for P5. Oh, Culp gets really squeezed there. He's back to the bumper though. Gauntlet maybe trying to make a crossover move back to his quarter panel, but tries to get the 29 a little bit loose, but still falling back. It is Cash Culp. Once again for the race lead, Matthew White is all over the back bumper of Cameron Chandler. As they head down this front stretch. Left side maybe for a second call. Trying to there on the inside of Gauntlet. He's there to the inside through 1 and 2. Contact being made. They door slam heading down this backstretch. And here comes Cole Wilson all the way to the bottom for a second. Trying to get there. Culp's gonna just clear himself on Gauntlet. Gauntlet though working back to the inside, door to door down this front stretch again. More contact being made. My goodness. Racing like it's the last lap out here. Only on lap 29, of course. Culp is loose! Up the racetrack he goes. Might lose the race car. Caution is out anyways. 3rd time tonight. It's the 73 gone around. Again. See what happens. He has been off to an awful start, Wyatt Miller. Oh, it looks like he just got dumped, I think. Here with the 94 Birdman. Oh, no, he loses the race car. That's him. And Erdman can't really do anything about it. Has to make contact with him and right in his path. Let's ride along with CJ Erdman. That was an interesting spot to just lose the race car entirely. There was no contact, I don't think. Take a better angle at it. I don't know, maybe ever so slightly got to him. I want to look at a better angle than that so we can see. Maybe, I don't know, it was really close. I mean, nah, I don't think he did. I don't think there's any contact until then, which obviously you really can't avoid that. You're right in the lap. 2nd time Erdman's been right in the lap of something. Luckily this time, not as much damage to his race car. Caution again. And Kern on lap 31, 3rd yellow of the day. Well, of course, next 2 days we're off to Fontana, California in Auto Club Speedway for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series race there tomorrow night. And, of course, the Cup Series on Thursday. Always a fan favorite, Fontana. Always a driver favorite as well. Going to be under the lights as usual for both Grand National and Cup. We're excited for this one. Season 5 in Fontana. Cover starts 8 p.m. Eastern Time for both races. 70 laps, of course, for Grand National coming up tomorrow. Chuska, again. Same story for the most part. Culp fell all the way back to 6th. Benson's up to 7th, so slowly but surely your pole sitter Bryce Benson making his way back up through the field. He has a lot of poles, but not too many wins, but did win last week at Kansas. That race was supposed to be broadcasted, but we had issues, technical issues, and ultimately couldn't. Bryce Benson did win that race at Kansas. All right, here we go for the restart. Can Matthew White challenge Chandler anything on the inside lane? No, Chandler. What a great restart. And Matthew White might have pressure from the 99 and facing Lindsay side by side through 1 and 2. Door to door, these two, as they head down the backstretch, side by side. Lindsay still up in that outside lane. White on the bottom of the 18 car. A little bit of contact again. As they head down the front straightaway back to 1 and 2. Max Filippi, he's having a pretty solid day. First race in that Ford Mustang for him. Oh, they're getting sideways up the racetrack a little bit there. Somebody just blinked. I believe they're back. As they head back out of 1 and 2, there's Cash Culp there, still those side by side. Not really sure why that camera angle is that bad. Heading back into 3 and 4. Side by side, back through 1 and 2, and down this backstretch. These two are still door to door. Of course, Lindsay got that good jump to get there on Matthew White up on the outside. They're 3 wide further back. How is this going to go? 3 wide. Oh my goodness! Contact way up the racetrack. 73 Miller shoots Maddox Beard up there. Oh, is Maddox in the wall? You get 37 on White, Miller back there. Just a mess all around. Go to the back of the field. Now Lindsay is clear on Matthew White for 2nd place. Here is Max Filippi falling back. Bryce Benton to his outside. Culp is also trying to get up through the field. As Filippi starting to lose control of his race car. Gauntly to his inside as well. There's Cole Wilson waiting back there. Side by side for 6th place. Oh, we got a crash. And again, it's the 73. My goodness. God. Let's see. And once again, completely loses it all on his own. I mean, they got to do something about him. This is unacceptable. The 73 once again involved. That is, of course, Wyatt Miller. That's, I believe, the 3rd crash he's caused all by his own, oh my God, by himself. And we got cars leaders pitting. Payson stays out. Chandler pits. Culp pits. And maybe a mixed bag throughout the entire of the leaders. Matthew White and Cameron Chandler, they're both pitting here. So hopefully action will be taken for Miller if he causes another thing like that. Here we go, battle off pit road. Chandler is going to beat Matthew White. 3rd off pit road goes Bryce Benton. 4th, Max Filippi. 5th, Zaner Bond as we're on lap 42 here. Your leader is currently being scored. Payson Lindsay, 2nd Culp. There are 5 cars that stayed out here on older tires. So how will this go? Now, not really sure how important tires are tonight. Miller in the 73 car. Definitely hasn't had the success Ashton Miller has had so far in the NASCAR Racing FedEx League. His first ever league start is going horribly, to say the least. I don't know where his decal is on that front, on that nose. Yeah. Choose this time by. So, of course, first car on fresh tires will be Cameron Chandler. We'll see how it goes on the choose. Outside goes Lindsay. Inside goes Culp. Lindsay, really, my goodness, 3 cars go inside. That's going to give the 2nd row to Greg Holes. And Chandler's going to take advantage of that. So does White. There goes Benton low, Max Filippi, and everybody else. All right, here we go. Going to restart on lap 45. Base cars in. Yet again, Cash Culp now on this front row. Tires up front Contact being made. A bit of a messy start here. Hope's going to wait for Lindsay to go. He is not going. Took forever for him to go as they go back to green here in Kern. Side by side down on a 1 and 2. Lindsay didn't get a good jump, and Cash Colt might take advantage of it. Door to door, down the backstretch. Chandler is clear on Matthew White back there. Side by side, back to 3 and 4. Chandler, oh, he's going to turn the 20. Around goes the 20 of holes. Got wrecked by Cameron Chandler, and the caution is out again. Rare mistake and rare thing by that with Cameron Chandler, so we'll see what happens. Oh, they wrecked anyways back there. Oh, Chandler just, we're going to have to take a better angle at that. Looks like he just got to him, unfortunately. I don't think he did that intentionally. Yeah, just gassed it up a little bit too much and turns the 20 around. Not exactly sure who wrecked back there. Oh, gee, wow. For the love of God. Oh, thank the good Lord he's disconnected, though. I think, please. Because, man, he's lucky that wasn't the original cause of the caution. Oh, my God. No, I know we're not supposed to be saying this, but good Lord, man, that's the 5th crash he's caused. All by himself, I think. I mean, that is unbelievable. This time it was Cameron Chandler turning around Holtz. I'm not really sure how happy Holtz is going to be with Cameron. Been a pretty caution-filled race so far in Kern on lap 48. Nice if we can buckle down and get a bit of a green flag run going. Not even halfway through this one, obviously. Coming to the shoes yet again this time by here in Kern. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, anyways, we're going to restart on lap 50. Cash Culp got a pretty good restart on Payson Lindsay last time by. Let's see what he can do this time. I don't know why Payson was taking forever in his box to actually, you know, go. Pace car is in yet again. Here we go. Lindsay gets a better restart this time and is clear already on Cash Culp as they head down the front straightaway on the restart. Side by side here between the 9 of Benton and the 18 of Matthew White. Top four already single file down into 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes fresh tires. Cameron Chandler on the bottom of Cash Culp. Culp way up the racetrack in that 57 car. He's going to have to step out of the gas and might lose maybe 3 other spots. 3 wide for second contact between Benton and Culp. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got a car wrecking again. Please don't throw caution iRacing. And it did. Okay, that's unnecessary. Let's wait. Let's take a look what happened. Oh, actually contact was made in this 37 car. I'm not really sure what's going on back here. Oh man, this has been, oh, it's a separate incident. All right, that's the cause of the caution, I think. Oh, 20 just spins in front of the 37. That was Greg Holes. And then the 4 of Piper loses it by himself up there, and then the 20 of Holes just sitting there. Yeah, man. A little bit of a mess back there again. We've had a lot of cautions tonight so far. We're under yellow again in Kern. Well, this has surely been an interesting one, to say the least. Oh, I'm not really sure what the 73, okay. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw that car going around on the pace lap. Anyways. So, Coming to the choose, I think. Yes, once again. Well, I feel like we've had non-stop cautions. Like I said before, it'd be nice if we could get some green flag running in. These three, of course, are all involved with that last crash. Cole's not very good last two restarts for him, obviously. Cash Culp also pitted, so he falls back, but he's on fresher tires now, 14th. All right, lap 55. Let's see what can happen now for the restart. Lindsay gets a good jump on the fresh tires of Cameron Chandler. Outside has been a really good advantage, especially at Eldora on the dirt last night. Now tonight, so far in Kern, look at Cole Wilson on the bottom as they head back at a 1 and 2. White trying to clear Jeremiah Gauntly. Now here comes Cameron Chandler to the inside of Pace and Lindsay for the lead of this race. Side by side, down the front straightaway, and back through 1 and 2 between Chandler and Lindsay. White back there as well. White's gonna make it 3 wide on the bottom for the race lead. Will he stick his nose? No, he will not. New leader Cameron Chandler once again. Matthew White trying to take second place away back there on Lindsay. Side by side, dead down the back stretch again. Contact between these top two, second and third. Gauntly on the bottom of Bryce Benson. You got Cole Wilson back there as well in the 2 car. Pace and Lindsay into the wall a little bit goes Bryce Benson. And now here's the 29 Jeremiah Gauntly. So they head back through 3 and 4. Almost contact. Here's Cole Wilson to the outside and almost 3 wide again. They're on Gauntly and the 9 of Benton. Gauntly's got to back out of it here. The 81 of Beard, sorry, coming through there as well. Gauntly, oh, he's loose. Sideways, Steve Filippi going to try to get around him, so is Beard. Loose still for the 29 car. Continues to fall on back. Oh my goodness, and then to the wall goes Cash Culp back here. Trying to get something working with those fresher tires. Brody Webster moves the back of the 29 car there. You got a battle side by side now between Cole Wilson and Pace and Lindsay for 4th. Wilson clear to 4th. Lindsay back into P5. And this battle back here still continues as they head down the front straightaway in Kern. Here is the 22 of Brody Webster to the bottom of Cash Culp. Side by side, heading down the back stretch yet again. Gauntly back there squeezing his nose with that 29 car. Gauntly's falling back to 9th place, possibly 10th with Brody Webster on his tail. Oh, contact between Gauntly and Cole. Gauntly again, he's sideways. And now here comes Brody Webster to the inside of him from P9. Almost contact with Zane Rahman watching back there in 11th place. And somebody just had a big blank. He is back. Still going at it for 9th, side by side down the back straightaway. Of course, Gauntly's last event of the week as he's suspended for both multiple weeks in the Cup Series and the Grand National Series. Battle for 3rd starting to heat up between Bryce Benton and Cole Wilson. You also got a side-by-side battle between Maddox Beer. Oh! It's the wall goes Jeremiah Gauntly. He spins down the back straightaway. And the caution's out again on lap 65. Thought we were actually going to get a run in. Nope. So, loses it all by himself. Zane Rahman got a piece of it back there. Another car that just lost it off the corner exit down the back straightaway. It's right along with the 1 of Rahman. Got some front end damage from this. I would imagine, at least. And there goes Gauntly, loses it, and nowhere to go for Zane Rahman. Squeezes him right into that. Puts us under caution again. We got some cars pitting. Pace and Lindsay is one of them. Of course, he stayed out earlier. He finally brings his car down to pit road on lap 67. Doesn't look too bad for the damage with St. Vermont's car as he made contact through that accident. Freddie Webster pits, so does the 81. And Jeremiah Gauntlet, of course, involved in that accident. He'll choose this time by. All right. Chandler goes outside, White goes inside, Benton goes outside, inside, outside. 3 cars go outside back there. Colt is back there in 7th place. All right. As we get ready for the restart on lap 69. Been definitely an interesting one so far at Kern. Racing's been pretty decent when we're not under caution. But we'll see if he can get some runs in here. Here we go. Chandler and White. Once again on the restart. Chandler, what a start. He is absolutely gone on Matthew White and the rest of the field as they head back into 1 and 2. Benton on the outside there of White. There's the 2 of Cole Wilson. And White's clear. Now here comes Benton to his quarter panel to his inside there. As iRacing is the worst camera angles for this track I've ever seen. Oh, and blink there for Matthew White as they head down. Side-by-side action back here. For Piper and side-by-side with Cash Coleman as they head down the backstretch and back to 3 and 4. Here comes the 9 of Benton to the outside. Barely there outside on Matthew White. Look, trying to take P2 away. Of course, Benton started on pole, fell all the way back earlier on. Oh, and he's loose as they head down the back straightaway once again. Cole Wilson, the 2 car, looking back there. Side by side for 2nd place. Matthew White could lose P2 right here, right now. To go down the back stretch yet again in Kern. Benton to clear in 2nd place. Now we'll try to chase down your leader, Cameron Chandler. White back to his bumper. He's going to almost move him down into 1 and 2. Can't quite get there with Cole Wilson on his rear end as well. White is trying to ever so slightly get to the quarter panel of the 9 of Benton. Ooh, he got him a little bit loose. It's just allowing Cameron Chandler to pull away. Benton squeezes White. Back through 1 and 2. White slides up the racetrack. These 2 both wearing at their tires. What can Cole Wilson do back here? Fresh tires, remember, on Payson Lindsay. He is coming in that 99 car. And he's there. Benton clear once again, but here comes Lindsay 3 wide with Wilson and White through 1 and 2. Oh, Cole Wilson slides. And here's Payson Lindsay juicing those fresher tires to his advantage. Side by side, back through turns 3 and 4. The battle for 3rd place. Benton now 7/10 of a second back on Cameron Chandler. Lindsay trying to take this 3rd place away. He was absolutely flying a few laps ago, but now kind of stalled out side by side with Matthew White. Lindsay back on the bottom. Oh, he slides. Can't do that. That's going to make the tires not so fresh anymore, for obvious reasons. Cole Wilson still waiting back there in 5th place, trying to maybe see if a gap opens up. Let's get a side-by-side battle between Max DiFilippi and Cash Cole. And Lindsay finally clears Matthew White. Up into 3rd he goes. Chandler now 8/10 of a second out front. Caution is out again here in Kern. Let's see what. Oh my God, bro! Are you kidding me? Let me guess. Oh, did he actually get turned this time? Oh, he did. What is Holes doing? I'm not really sure. We'll see if there was any prior incident that happened before this. Obviously there was. Let's take a look. So they're racing here. Remember, the 73 is a lap down. Oh, I don't think Holes appreciated that. And then Holes, I don't know if that was necessary, but wrecks the 73. So it's under caution again on lap 80, and we got some cars pitting. Leaders mostly stay out, though. First car on pit road is Jeremiah Gauntly. All right. Yellow flag out again in Kern. And Cameron Chandler still leads. Bryce Benson second. Pace and Lindsay fresher tires. A little bit fresher tires in third. .45 laps to go in Kern. I believe he might be coming to the shoes this time by. Yes, we will. Chandler goes outside it, and look at, oh, how about Benton? He'll go top. That'll give the front row to Pace and Lindsay. That's an interesting choice for Bryce Benson. First time we've seen someone go to the outside and for second place and give him the front row like that. See how it works out for Benton, and of course Pace and Lindsay now moves up the second on the inside lane. All right, here we go for the restart again in Kern. Back to green, and the 8 car is gone, but can Bryce Benton maybe get back to the outside of Payson Lindsay? No, Payson clears him, so a bad decision for Bryce Benton to take the outside lane in the second. As they head down the back straightaway. Cole Wilson now back on the inside, trying to make something happen side by side with the 18 of Matthew White. And Matthew White, just gets to the outside as Wilson slides a little bit and falls into 5th. Now Payson Lindsay, remember, a little bit fresher tires than Cameron Chandler, tries to run him down. He's there to the inside for the race lead. Here comes Payson Lindsay. Throws it into the corner. Slides up the racetrack and has to fall back. Benton back to the rear bumper of that 99 car of Payson Lindsay. Lindsay had his opportunity. Did he blow it there, though? Oh, a little bit of contact there. Paul Wilson moves up the racetrack. Same thing with Matthew White as they start the battle between Benton and White for what is 3rd place. Max Beer as well on Cash Kolb. We got a car completely sideways and nearly wrecking. Can they all save it? Yes, they will. Brody Webster want to save. Oh, but Zane Rahman back up into the door of the 12 of Max Filippi. I don't think Zane, I think he kind of misjudged that, obviously. I'll stay green back here, side by side. Look at this big mess going on. To Matthew White now to the 18. Goes to the inside to the quarter pit. Oh, my turn, Benton. Benton is able to hang on to it. Matthew White. Wow, that was close. Oh, my God. The caution's out again. Oh, Brady Webster this time. It pans to the 73 car. I was about to say, you know, but Brody Webster's the cause this time. It finally wrecked back there. Oh, I think he just got ran over from the looks of it. Let's see. Brady checks up a little bit. Oh, he blocks. That's what he did. All right. Can't be doing that, Brody. My podcast co-host, not really sure what he was thinking. Unbelievable actions by Brody Webster. It's right along with Gauntly. And Brody, yeah. Gauntly had no time to react, it looks like. Around goes Webster again. Bringing out the yellow once more. And we got leaders on pit road led by Cameron Chandler. A couple cars did stay out, though. Here they come off pit road. Chandler wins the race. Off pit road, I believe, second going to be Maddox Beard. Benton, not a great stop. Maybe trying to repair some damage. It definitely looks like he's doing that, but maybe a little bit later in the race to be repairing damage like this. And what, 4 cars stay out? Payson Lindsay, Matthew White, Cole Wilson, and Cash Culp. First car, fresh tires will be Cameron Chandler. This kind of gets things mixed up again. Roll off the pit road. All right. So we're coming to 35 to go this time by. Fresher tires in the back. But a very caution-filled race, but fresher tires have been very useful. Seen that out of Pace Lindsay now, who has the lead, but now he's on a tire disadvantage. Lindsay, White, Wilson, of course, and Culp all stay out. All right, here we go, coming to the shoes. Lindsay probably goes outside like he always does. Yes, he will. White goes to the bottom. To a Brady Webster, or two, I don't know, I keep calling him Brady Webster. Two, Cole Wilson. Well, Brady Webster drafted 2 in the Grand National. That's probably why. All right, so we'll see if that 99 of Lindsay can get a good restart up in the outside lane and maybe just get clear of everybody. Here we go. Ready for the restart. Once again, back to the green flag. Oh, Matthew White did not go on the bottom with Cash Cole. As they head side by side into second place, look at Cole Wilson in the 2 car. Fresh tires, Cameron Chandler, he is already coming for the lead. Outside on Matthew White, third place, so much more grip out of that iCar. They're 3 wide, Benton up the racetrack. He's well on fresh tires. Culp falls back. Lindsay leads, but for second place, here comes Chandler. Wilson's completely goes sideways, back into 3 and 4. Benton is, again, like I said, on fresh tires back there in the 9 car. Needs to try to follow in behind. Oh my God, somebody almost wrecked back there. Luckily, I think everyone saves it. And in the clear into second place goes, go Matthew White! He gets turned with Bryce Benton. Around goes Matthew White. On the backstretch. Caution. Contact with Bryce Benton. Not 100% sure if it was Benton turning him or what there. But at the front of the field, he's driving pretty quickly, so I don't think he's pleased. I don't know. Maybe just trying to catch back up. We'll maybe see in a minute. No. We're going to have to go to the replay. Let's take a look at what happens. So, I mean, Benton battling obviously on fresher tires with Matthew White. Oh, yeah, just gets him a little bit too much, and then contact into the wall goes Matthew White. He spins down the back straightaway. Let's ride along with Bryce Benton. A chaotic one, obviously, in iCar tonight with Bryce Benton. Just, yeah, ever so slightly contact off down the front straight, back straightaway, I should say, and into the wall. And ooh, that's big damage. And we have some cars that pitted. Pace Lindsay pitted from the lead, of course, on older tires, and that gives the lead to Cameron Chandler now. And, ooh, yeah, that is suspension damage out of that 9 car. That could be day over for him. Matthew White's got pretty significant damage back there as well. So your pole sitter, and Matthew White has been running up front all day long. Matthew White now rolls off with damage, and I think Benton will be done. So Benton ended up getting the worst end of the stick with that. All right. And Matthew White comes back down here to try to get some more repairs. Wyatt Miller, he has been black flagged again. So apparently he caused something back there. Can't really look at it now as the choose is coming up. Try to do it in a minute after the choose. So Chandler goes outside. Maddox Spirit, of course, up here on the front row. You see a lot of cars go top there. We'll try to go with Wyatt Miller for a second. I want to see what happened back there, but he got a black flag for something. I'm not really exactly sure what it was. Oh, this is what it was. Hang on. Down to 3 and 4 he goes. He loses the race car almost, and then just comes back up. Oh my God! Oh, he nearly destroyed Max DiFilippi. That could have been really, really bad. Lord. Pace car's in. We're ready for the restart. Here we go. And Cameron Chandler, not too much competition to the front of the field for him right now. He is absolutely gone. Side by side into second place between the 81 of Maddox Beard and the 57 of Cash Cole. There, contact 4 wide behind them. It is some absolute mess in the back straightaway. My goodness. The racetrack goes the 94 Verdman. Still making contact. Brady Webster, the bumper of the 29 Gonley. They're 3 wide down the front straightaway. It's an absolute mess back here. Oh, contact. The 20 Poles just gets ran into by the 73 car. It is still a mess up here. So they're still 3 wide down the back straightaway. Oh, Erdman falls back up in the outside lane again. Here we go. Matthew White trying to drive his way back up through this field. Side by side for second as well between Maddox, Beard, and Cash Culp. Pace and Lindsay don't count him out yet up in fourth. He's on fresh tires again, remember. Side by side for P2. Cash Culp and the 81 of Maddox Beard. Mason's going to have to try to catch him as soon as possible. Maddox Beard makes it pretty easy for him for a moment as they head back into 3 and 4. Trying to get to the outside of the 81 car. If he gives him a little bit of room, yes he will. Down into 1 and 2 they go. Here comes Pace and Lindsay. He needs to get around these two as quickly as possible. And then Cash Culp gives him absolutely no room. Payson was being really aggressive up in the outside lane, and Culp said no thank you. Here comes Matthew White on the bottom. Almost gets there 3 wide, but he's going to be side by side with the 81 of Maddox Beard. Oh, to the wall goes Max Stephen-Levy back here on the 12. Here's Lindsay, door on the 57 of Culp. White coming with him as well. They got around Cash Culp already. A 2-second, oh, the caution's out. I think Coles might have dumped the 73 car from the looks of it. No, he lost it by himself again. All right, I think. I believe it kind of gave it a bad camera. I'm really not exactly sure how we lose it there. I really don't know, to be honest. We have black flag too. It's my goodness. Under caution again in Kern with now 20 laps to go. Well, this has been surely a chaotic one so far tonight in Kern, and still not over. Looking fresher tires, Matthew White and Bryce Benton, or I should say the 99 to Pace and Lindsay back here. Of course, Bryce Benton out of the race after that accident he had with Matthew White. A lot of cautions tonight. A lot of cautions in this one. A lot more than usual that we usually see in iCar, to be honest. But just could be setting up for maybe a good finish here. Coming to the choose, we're going to restart with 16 laps to go. Chandler obviously goes top. Oh, how about this? Lindsay goes top. It didn't work for Benton earlier. I don't know if I would have done that. We'll see here. Let's get ready for this restart again. Laps to go once the green comes out. Here we go for the restart. Side by side between Matthew White and Cameron Chandler. Remember, fresher tires for Benton, or saying Benton, Chandler, Lindsay, and White. All right, Lindsay actually gets a good restart on Matthew White, and he's going to be clear in the P2. As they head down the back straightaway. Oh! Wilson and Matthew White make contact. So they had to have a side-by-side battle here for P3. White's going to fall back and Cole Wilson into third place. And now here comes Payson Lindsay trying to catch the aid of Cameron Chandler. Run down this backstretch again. Now Lindsay trying to run down this iCar. How aggressive is he going to be to try to pass him? Here's Cash Culp to the outside. He, remember, has fresher tires than Matthew White, I think. Or Matthew White just has damage. He hit it earlier. I think fresh, oldest tires are with the iCar of Cameron Chandler. Now look at the two of Cole Wilson coming outside on Payson Lindsay. Battle for second place going on. Cash Culp in the 57 will can't count him out yet. They're going to go back-to-back after being awarded the win in Eldora last night. Here's Cole Wilson, clear, I believe, on Payson Lindsay. Yes, he is, and now Cash Culp getting there side-by-side for third. Oh, contact into the wall goes Brady Webster, and also contact between Cash Culp and Payson Lindsay ever so slightly. Oh my goodness, that 99 car is loose. But here comes Cole Wilson trying to run down his partner, team owner in the wall. A couple of cars just went. As Colby runs up the racetrack to the door of the 99. Contact again, look at Brody Webster out of nowhere in that 22 car. How about Brody Webster? Oh, up the racetrack goes Matthew White. Into the, nearly into the wall goes one car up there. I'm not really, oh, that's the 73 again. Oh my goodness. Matthew White continues to fall back. Now in his 7th. Only 9 remain in Kern. Here's the 81 of Maddox Beard at the bottom of White. Got Brody Webster again. He is sideways. Oh my goodness. Contact all over this racetrack. Maddox Beard's fighting with Matthew White back as they battle back for 6th. As Beard is going to fall back, and now here comes White trying to repass Brody Webster. To his quarter panel, side by side down the front straightaway. And Brody Webster, oh, the caution's out again. Oh my, you know what? He's, yeah. I think it's time. Oh, no, I don't know if this one was actually his fault. Let's see. And he just gets ran over by Greg Hulls. All right. Wow. Not really they were into it earlier. I thought that would have boiled down by now. I guess not. All right. I mean, he just, yeah, straight, obviously not pretty intentional there. My goodness. That really changes a few things. Wilson and Culp were battling for second with the caution. Now 6 laps to go. I really wouldn't expect anyone to come to the pit road this time, at least from the lead. Probably going to restart inside of 3 to go. Could be the final run to the checker. Free pass goes to Jeremiah Gauntlet. So we got Erdman is being on pit road right now. So is another car. It's Gauntlet. Yeah, this has been an absolutely wild one so far tonight in Kern, like we expected, but not in the way we expected. I mean, we saw TJ Moon, Cash Culp, and Matthew White all in this race. Moon ended up being taken out by connection issues on lap 10, so really haven't seen him all day long. We're going to choose next time by. I believe restart then with 2 to go. So, going to be a green, white, checker finish the checkered flag. I do believe, I'm not exactly 100% sure if this would count as the only green, white, checkered attempt. I think it would, because it is green, white, checkered, but it doesn't officially say that it is. So I don't think it would count, actually, because it's not officially overtime. All right, here we go. Choose. Outside Cameron Chandler. Again, outside look at Cole Wilson. That's a risky move, especially with 2 to go. I don't think I would be giving up the front row with 2 laps to go like that. But, I mean, Cash Cole can do everything he can on the inside lane. I mean, he was obviously somewhat involved in that insane finish last night. We may be brewing for another one here in Kern. Of course, on the dirt last night in Eldora, now on the asphalt in Kern. It's been a wild week so far, and we're not even to the Cup Series and Grand National Series in Fontana. So here we go. The pace car is in. 2 laps to go in Kern. Can Cameron Chandler hold on yet again for a win? Ooh, he didn't go there, as we're back to green. Bit of a voice crack. Look at Payson Lindsay back on the inside for 2nd place. Exactly what Chandler wants to see. Side-by-side action behind him as they head on the backstretch once again. Coming to the white flag, 1 to go, white flag in the air, and they're door-to-door for P2 as Chandler drives up behind him, wrecking back there. The white flag is out anyways. Final lap as they head down the back straightaway. Culp, oh, he's getting turned! Around goes Cash Culp off the nose of Payson Lindsay. Through 3 and 4, once again to the checkered flag. The 2-time defending series champion goes to victory lane in Kern. Cameron Chandler gets the win. Wilson ends up coming home in 2nd. Beard 3rd, and Chandler, or I should say, Lindsay absolutely dumped Cash Culp. I don't think Cash is going to be really too pleased. It's a mess here on the cooldown lap. Oh my God, okay. They're still wrecking. Oh, they're still wrecking. What a race. Chaotic one tonight. Oh, there goes Payson Lindsay. But Cameron Chandler wins in Kern. My goodness. He survives. Probably the only car not involved in something today. That was a hell of a race. Absolutely wild. And Cameron Chandler burns it down. Oh, and all right, he's got to learn you can't do that. Good Lord. Okay. And Cameron Chandler's burnout has been ruined, unfortunately. For the most part, I don't think that it actually still does work. Burning it down with his teammate Max DeFilippi. Cameron Chandler wins in Kern. What a race from Kern tonight. We'll look at the replay of how Lindsay ended up getting Cash Culp turned around there on the back straightaway. I thought Culp was going to be clear on Lindsay and then have a chance at getting there on Chandler, but ultimately he got turned. And that thing's crab walking out just a little bit. My God. And we'll go to victory lane here. All right, in the middle. All right. Look at post-race replays coming up. Wild night in Kern. Wow. That was a heck of a show tonight. Let's look at what happened with Payson Lindsay and Cash Culp. Here, side by side on the final lap. Obviously, the last lap, racing for it all. Oh, they had a wreck back there we'll have to look at. Oh, Lindsay gets sideways. It wasn't a very good angle, and then obviously around goes Culp into the wall pretty decently there. We'll go from the blimp to see it, take a better angle at this. So, door-to-door in a second. Culp on the outside. Lindsay gets loose. Oh, yeah, kind of chased up the racetrack. Definitely not intentional. And then to the door of Maddox Beard, he goes back there. Ultimately comes home in 4th place. And that was a pretty good side-by-side battle. Photo finish for 4th. Let's look at the wreck that happens on the coming to the white flag that obviously didn't bring out the caution because the white was already out. I believe it involved Aiden Holes and a couple others. Oh, he just gets turned by Jeremiah Gauntly. Spins down the front straightaway. Oh, gets just absolutely rammed by the 73 and Miller. And around he goes. Let's ride along with that 73 car who was involved in just about every crash this race. Not a very good debut, to say the least. Well, he just gassed it up into the back of the 20. That's not going to help him either. Wow, all right. Not a very good performance to start off your career, but Cameron Chandler once again goes to victory lane. he will extend his points lead here in iCar. And we'll have some post-race interviews coming up. First up, your winner, Cameron Chandler. Cameron Chandler, it was an absolutely wild race here tonight in Kern, but you get the job done. Absolute chaos behind you. How did you keep your head in it to once again get a victory here in Kern and extend your points lead?
Yeah, it was really hard to pass once you got to the front. So I really was just getting to the top and just holding down the guy on the inside, and that would get you a pretty good shot at the win. And then we pitted early on the last cycle, and got through the field really quick. And then everyone else behind me, they pitted a little bit too early for them to have enough of an advantage to pass me. So I don't really know what happened with the entire field. I heard the 73 and whatever the 20 whatever Aiden Holes was driving. I heard that they were beefing quite a bit. So it's not going to be a fun race to go look after and decide who did what.
Yeah, of course, but you get the job done anyways. Of course, we get the Fontana for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series on Thursday. I already talked to you earlier. You said you weren't too confident because you have that new iRacing setup. Has anything changed from then over the last 24 hours?
Not really, honestly. I mean, Team Chevy Motor Club did a great job delivering me a new interior for my race car and the Gen 4 race car. And they even supply some of the Xfinity and ARCA stuff. So they did a pretty good job redesigning it. I mean, we have some issues that still need to be worked on, but yeah, we got to get used to it. I don't know. I'm surprised, honestly, that it worked out so well in ARCA this race and the unstreamed race at Kansas. But yeah, it's gonna be different for the Gen 4, the charity race. We were fast at first, and then we turned into an absolute turtle. And I don't know if it was different tire strategy or just being a turtle, but that's what happened, and hopefully that doesn't happen on Thursday.
All right, Cameron. Well, of course, congrats on the win here tonight in iCar. Yet another victory as you are a two-time defending series champion, of course. And we'll see you on Thursday in Fontana.
Yep.
Cole Wilson comes up second. Cole Wilson, you guys were involved in a lot tonight. You ultimately ended up keeping your car clean there at the end. But a lot of things happening all around you, and you ultimately survived to finish in second. What were those final few laps like?
Yeah, I definitely made the wrong decision going behind Cameron on the race start. I thought Cash was gonna get it since it was really hard to time up the leader when you're on the inside. I didn't think Cash was gonna get a good enough restart to stay even with Cameron, and he did. So then him and Payson kind of like became side by side right in front of me, so I got stuck behind him. So if I went inside of Cameron, I don't know if it would have been very different. I probably still would have finished second anyway. But yeah, like you said, it was a messy race. A lot of wrecks I was involved in, but just happy I finished.
All right, so of course, we go to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series tomorrow. Unfortunately, you were given that points penalty after Richmond, but you still sit sixth in the standings. Do you think it's a good opportunity for you in Fontana tomorrow to get maybe a better, good points finish and probably move up a little bit in the standings?
Yeah, definitely a good opportunity. I think it's a bigger track, more skill racing, a lot of tire saving. I don't think it's going to be as big of a wreck fest like it was in Richmond. So we're going to start to see after that when the points really fall and who's actually legit. So hopefully just come out of there top 5 maybe and look to go get the championship lead.
All right, Cole Wilson. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night in Fontana for Grand National.
All right, thank you.
All right. So, of course, continuing post-race interviews here in Kern post-iCar. Coming up next, it's going to be Maddox Beard came up third. Maddox Beard, pretty wild race all around tonight, but ultimately you guys will finish in third place, so a pretty decent finish to start off your week tonight. Take me through how you ultimately got there in the final few laps.
Yeah, well, we had a pretty terrible qualifying and joined late. Didn't get a good lap or invalidated my lap. So we were in 17th, but I knew I could probably be pretty fast. So the whole race kind of just making our way through the field. Had a lot of cautions. So, yeah, had a bit of an incident with, I believe, Wyatt Miller at the start. I didn't really know what he was doing, but yeah, we eventually got up there. Didn't quite have winning speed, but yeah, we got up to the top 5 and kind of just stayed there for the rest of the race. And then the final restart, car felt really good. Was able to accelerate well. We got up to, I believe, about 5th. And then I think Cash Culp and they all wrecked up there. I was able to sneak by. Probably would have been able to get Cole for second, but Payson came back up, kind of shoved me up. But yeah, good finish here in Kern.
Of course, we had the Fontana tomorrow night for the Grand National Series. Or actually, you're going to be in that race.
Yeah, I'm going to be in that, yeah.
All right, and then, of course, the Cup Series on Thursday. So it was a pretty good learning opportunity for you guys in Texas during the Greg Piffle Tribute race last week. So do you guys think after all that practice you got there, racing with some of the top drivers in the Cup Series, you learned anything you're going to maybe apply to the Cup Series on at Thursday?
Yeah, definitely learned a lot on the long runs. If we can get long runs, definitely learned a lot about saving. Definitely got better at saving tires. But yeah, I think we can definitely be fast. Fontana is probably one of my best tracks, maybe my best track in iRacing. I remember I got pole there in Grand National last season and also ran pretty well there in Cup. I think we can honestly go for a top 5, maybe even the win if we get it down. But yeah, I think we can probably have a shot to win both Grand National and Cup.
All right, Maddox, well, we'll see you, of course, tomorrow night for Grand National and then Thursday for the Cup Series.
Yep.
Coming up next, going to be Payson Lindsay. Payson Lindsay, I mean, I feel like you're in a different tire strategy than everyone in this race. You guys ultimately will finish in 4th place. You unfortunately got a little bit loose there and ended up nearly basically taking out Cash Culp. What was going on there in the final lap?
Yeah, I mean, Cash just jumped the restart, so I mean, it gave me a better opportunity, but I kind of expected him to let me go because I thought it was going to be a cut and clear penalty. I mean, he was way ahead of Cameron and went like 2 seconds before Cameron did, so I thought he was going to realize that and kind of let me go. And when he didn't, I was just trying to race him harder and just ended up turning him on the backstretch. I kind of got loose off the corner. I don't really think he had much more room, but he did come down just a little bit. His car was kind of pointed off a little bit, but that was mainly my fault off the corner. But I just thought he was gonna give me the spot because I mean, with penalties, he wasn't racing for anything because he completely jumped the restart. But I mean, I think we had the best car except for Cameron, so we had to go on a different strategy, and it just didn't work out.
Well, of course, Fontana's coming up. Of course, on Thursday night, we got to talk about for the Cup Series. You guys were leading there on the final lap last season. Ultimately, you were involved in that iconic 4-wide finish. Didn't get the job done then, but you think you can maybe come out on top this time?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think we kind of had the one last season handed to us, but I didn't block the bottom on the last lap for some reason and left myself open to get split 4 wide. So if we're in that same situation again, just got to keep in mind we got to protect the bottom, even though the top is a little bit better. Especially late in the runs, just protecting the bottom's a lot better. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. I've done quite a few practice laps, and we seem like we have pretty good long run pace. So we'll see what we can do.
All right, Payson, we'll see you on Thursday for the Cup Series in Fontana.
Yeah, thank you.
That was Payson Lindsay. Coming up next is going to be Max Stiffy. Max Stiffy, you guys will finish in 6th tonight. So it looked like pretty early on you guys had a really good pace, top 5 pace in that 12 car. It looked like maybe as the run went on, it kind of dropped away. But ultimately a top 10 finish, 6th place here in iCar. Give me your thoughts.
I'm happy and I'm pissed. Multiple different reasons. I mean, the first run when I was in 3rd, I was saving really good. Caution came out, and I got hit a little bit on the restart, and I had no damage. But funny how ever since that, I couldn't drive the damn car to save my life, and no idea. I fell back, so then I took tires with my teammates. You know, we were all trying to work together, strategize. But they were all making moves, and I was just in the back, couldn't do anything. And then, you know, Wyatt Miller joining and just terrorizing like he always does in every race he's in. And threw about every single caution that screwed me over. And then I got a little bit loose and hit the wall. And then someone just dove it in 10 cars too deep and cleaned me out and gave me 10 minutes of damage from the rest of the race. So couldn't really do anything ever since then.
Well, of course, we had Fontana this week. You're running the Ford for the first time ever in the Grand National Series tomorrow. You think that's going to give you a bit of maybe a confidence boost or something like that, and maybe get a better run tomorrow night in Fontana for the Grand National Series?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully a confidence boost. I mean everything else, but I'm just tired of getting hit and wrecked all the time, and I know everyone's saying that about me as well. So I guess we're equal. But yeah, hopefully for a good race yesterday, and hopefully I don't have any run-ins with anybody and get a 0x and just finish good and show I'm on the team.
All right, Max. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night in Fontana for Grand National.
See you there.
That's Max DiFilippi. Coming home seventh is Zane Roman. Zane Roman, you guys finished in seventh tonight here at Kern. So ultimately, it was a pretty up and down. It was a wild day all around. But you guys looked like, for the most part, maybe outside of that one incident you're involved in, you kept it clean and pretty much out of the head storylines all day long. And ultimately, get rewarded with maybe a decent finish, P7. So how is it like throughout the field all day long with all that chaos and ultimately finishing in seventh?
Yeah, the car was just really much handling like different throughout the race. I mean, sometimes it got too tight, sometimes it didn't. I found the grooves like from time to time, sometimes I didn't. But yeah, overall, really great day. I'm just glad to actually finish a race and not end up in the wall like last night's truck race. So really happy about that.
Of course, Fontana's coming up for Grand National and Cup. Big week there under the lights in Fontana. You guys, that's of course where your whole team started their last season. So a season later, so much of course has changed with your organizations. You guys think you can maybe come home with maybe a surprise result, maybe even a victory in one of those two?
I don't know. I'll have to see. I mean, anything could happen. So I'm just dreaming if I can win that race. I want to.
All right, Zane. Well, of course, good luck in your two home races tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Zane Roman. Couple more to go. Next up, Brody Webster. Brody Webster, I mean, you were an absolute wrecking ball today. You guys will finish somehow in 8th place. I mean, just take me through the amount of chaos he caused.
Oh, and okay, it really was not that much, Ethan Trendler. Like, you're acting like it was a lot. It was just the one wreck with Cole Wilson, and I just ended up being like in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like whenever cars would get loose, I literally, because if you couldn't tell or not from the booth, out of the corners, a lot of people were getting loose, and so like I was behind Jeremiah Gaultney and Max Flippy when they both got loose and overcorrected into the wall and ended up giving me damage. And then I will say the one thing I did do was Cole Wilson, because I'm just sick of him, and yeah, he gives us a terrible car every week. He's such a bad owner. Always gives himself like all the good food, obviously, because he's fat, and then he gives himself the best parts. So, and also, he gave me that horrible push at Daytona, and I've been remembering that since day one that it happened. And I was like, you know what, Cole Wilson? You're not gonna push me down the track. That's not happening, man. So guess what? I might have Matt Kenseth him. So it was deserved, though.
All right, Brody Webster, well, do you think maybe on the short plane ride over to Fontana, you and Cole Wilson are going to throw some hands?
Yes, we will be, of course. Just like we're gonna all be throwing hands with TJ Moon after this.
All right, Brody Webster, well, we'll see you once your plane lands with all the food in Fontana.
Okay, nice try.
All right, anyways, coming up, next, Jeremiah Gauntley finished in 13th. Jeremiah Gauntley, you guys will finish in 13th tonight in this race. So it wasn't the best one, unfortunately, for you guys. You were involved maybe in a couple of accidents there, maybe one on the final lap, I think, as well, I saw. So ultimately, take me through some of the struggles.
Uh, well, I mean, I'm just not good with this car, if I'm gonna be honest. I've also just had a problem as of recent with just kind of pushed my car too hard off of corners. I'm sure you've probably seen recently. I get really loose off corners a lot. Yeah, just that mixed in with just kind of my own mistakes, really. I did definitely get a little bit too aggressive with Aiden at the end there, and that was my bad. I apologize towards his team and everything. Um, but you know, it's just kind of my own flaws that riddle me throughout my races.
Okay, well, so of course, unfortunately, you're suspended for both Grand National and Cup this week and the next few weeks, so I guess we'll see you in the next event that you're eligible for.
Yeah, you'll see me in 3 weeks, or maybe tomorrow if I get lit up in the booth. Pretty
Wow.
please.
We'll see.
I swear I'll be a good boy. I swear.
We'll see. All right, coming up next, I think I want to go Greg Aiden Holes. He's down. All right, so that will do it tonight in in Kern. So of course, coming up tomorrow night is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series in Fontana. Coverage starts, of course, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll see you then. So that will do it tonight in Kern for the iCar Pro Series. Pretty wild night all around. Cameron Chandler gets the job done once again. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Grand National Series. Good night in Kern. We'll see you tomorrow in Fontana.